Let us not fail our children. And that was what Jesus was alluding to in the gospel today. When the Jews came to him and they asked him, is it only few that will be saved? Jesus asked the question. Jesus told him, strive to enter through the narrow door. For many will come, but only few will have access. The Jewish people who came to ask Jesus this question, we are coming from the background of a people who are living in the consciousness of their divine sense of election. Their sense of divine election. Jewish people regarded themselves as a race specifically chosen by God, the descendants of Abraham. They are the only people who regarded themselves as those qualified to inherit the kingdom of heaven. The Gentiles have no share. So when they came to ask Jesus this question, they were only trying to see if Jesus will affirm to what they have been telling the Gentile people, that this kingdom is meant for only the Jewish race and not about the Gentiles or any other people. To their surprise, Jesus told them, if you are living in the illusion of having divine election as children of Abraham, that automatically it will qualify you to enter the kingdom of heaven, you are living on a fool's paradise. If you don't strive to enter through the narrow gate, this paradise will elude you. Not only that it will elude you, you will see those who will come from east, south, up and down to come and join Abraham in that kingdom, and you who have been chosen right from day one will be left out. That is how it has been playing out in life. And that was how it played out in the life of this story I just narrated. How a daughter whose name, who was never regarded, who was never accepted, who was treated as an illegitimate child, how her name was never included in the will, and how at the end of the day she got the lion's share. That is where discipline can place anybody. So I am pleading with every parent in this church. Take up your role again. Play your parental role. Raise your child to become a change maker in the world. Raise your child to become the reason why the name of your family will remain in positive memory throughout history. Build a legacy of love, integrity, and character by the way you raise your children. Bring about discipline. I know some parents, even if you are not for flogging, you are against corporal punishment, it's okay. There are many ways you can punish a child. You can take away some of his or her privileges. I know some parents who will say, because you do this, you are not going to handle your phone for the next 1 week. I'm going to seize your phone. You take the phone from a child, keep it in a room. After 1 week, you give it to that child. In some schools, some elite schools where teachers are not allowed to inflict corporal punishment, they have a detention room where a child who misbehaves can be kept alone. The child can stay there for 2 hours without talking to anybody. It's always very traumatizing for them to stay there. There are many ways. I know some Nigerian parents who live in America who have brought their children back, seize their passport, and tell them, you're not coming back to the States again. There are many ways to kill a rat. But in everything you do, never you jettison discipline. Because that is the only way you can show love if you want your child to amount to anything in life. But if you are the type that is ready to pander and yield to whatever craving, whatever desire, whatever thing your child craves for, you are destroying that child. Go and read about the story of Buddha, one of the major religions in the Eastern region. Buddha, as the story was told, when he was born, the parents, a king, the father was a king, wanted the child never to know pain or suffering. He never allowed the child to leave the palace for even a single day. He surrounded the child with luxury, comfort, everything money can buy, brought best teachers inside the palace to train this child. This child lived in luxury, affluence, opulence, and wealth. And then one day, the palace guard led him outside the city gate. For the first time, he was leaving the big castle where they were living. And for the first time, he saw people carrying a dead body to the grave. And people were crying. And this boy was like, what is happening? He said, somebody died. I said, death? What is death? He was told that every human being falls sick, suffers, and then dies. And the boy was like, will this thing happen to me? They told him, yes. That was an eye-opener. So that even my life of luxury, wealth, and fortune will not spare me from dying or knowing suffering. And then he said that his life of wealth and luxury will not prepare him for that kind of future. He came back, planned, and sneaked out of the palace. And he never came back again. He went and lived like a pauper, knew suffering firsthand, and then began to train himself. It was experience from his life of comfort and his life of pain and suffering. He married it together and founded one of the most compassionate religions in the world, Buddhism. No matter the kind of comfort you provide your child, no matter the kind of freedom you allow your child to experience and enjoy, it cannot prepare him for the challenging world out there. That is why you need to prepare that child. The world your child is coming into is a highly competitive world. It's a highly competitive world. A world where 1,000 people can go out in search of a future, and at the end of the day, only 50 makes it. And the other 950, where are they? I still remember my own journey to priesthood. We were about 150 that started in St. Paul's Seminary in the year 2000. But after our ordination, on the day of ordination, we were only 6. From 150 to 6 people that got ordained. And the question is, what happened to the rest? Those who go into nursing training will tell you that after their entrance exam and everything, about 250 or so will get admission to start the journey. And then when they write their PTS or whatever, about 100 will be selected and the other 150. And so, the screening continues and the number continues to trickle down. That is why up there is very lonely. Only very few people get up there. If you want your child to be among the few that will get up there, it demands tenacity. It demands discipline. It demands hard work and industry for any child to get up there. That is why discipline remains a sine qua non, a must. So I am pleading with every parent here, please, let us reassess our parental role and reassert our authorities again in our home. If you think you can't do it, resign. And if you are a child and your parents are not ready to discipline you, I am begging you with God, look for a parent to adopt you. Otherwise, the future will not be fair to you. Udo, Delon.